Lena had always been fascinated by antique shops. She loved the way old things seemed to carry stories, secrets hidden in their worn surfaces. One rainy afternoon, while wandering through a dusty store on the edge of town, she found a mirror. Its frame was intricately carved with twisted vines and faceless figures, the glass foggy with age. The shopkeeper, a gaunt old woman with a thin smile, warned Lena that the mirror was special. Quote. Ignoring the cryptic warning, Lena bought the mirror and brought it home. She hung it in her bedroom, finding something oddly comforting in its presence. That night, as she lay in bed, she heard a soft whisper. She turned on the light, scanning the room, but saw nothing. Assuming it was her imagination, she switched off the light and tried to sleep. The whisper returned, clearer this time, calling her name. Lena. She froze, her heart pounding. The sound seemed to be coming from the mirror. Slowly, she turned to face it, the moonlight casting a pale glow on its surface. Her reflection stared back, but something was wrong. The reflection wasn't mimicking her movements. It stood still, its eyes fixed on her with an intensity that made Lena's skin crawl. Terrified, she tried to look away, but she couldn't. The reflection began to move on its own, its lips curling into a sinister smile. It raised a hand, pressing it against the glass, and Lena felt a cold pressure against her chest, as if an invisible force was pushing her toward the mirror. The whisper grew louder, echoing in her head. Join me. Lena struggled to move, but her body felt paralyzed. The reflection's hand reached out, its fingers extending beyond the glass. Cold, bony fingers wrapped around Lena's wrist, pulling her closer. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. Her reflection's smile widened as it dragged her toward the mirror, the glass rippling like water as her body was pulled through. The last thing Lena saw before she was swallowed by the mirror was her own terrified face staring back at her from within the glass, her reflection now fully in control. On the other side, she was trapped, banging on the glass, screaming silently as the reflection, now free, turned away with a satisfied grin. The next morning, when Lena's friends came to visit, they found her house empty. The only trace of her was a single handprint on the mirror's surface, slowly fading away. The mirror was gone by the time the police arrived. The antique shop where she had purchased it was boarded up, as if it had never existed. And in a quiet bedroom somewhere far away, a new mirror hung on the wall, waiting for its next victim, whispering their name in the dead of night. Come closer. And join me.